The wallet was heavier than it looked, not with money, but with the weight of a life she couldn't begin to imagine. Sarah's fingers trembled as she stood in the rain outside the coffee shop, watching the sleek black car disappear around the corner. The man hadn't even noticed he'd dropped it. Why would he? Men like that didn't notice small things. They didn't notice people like her. She should have run after him. Should have called out. But her voice had caught in her throat, the way it always did when she felt small, and by the time she'd found the courage, he was gone. Now she stood there, soaked to the bone, holding a stranger's entire identity in her hands, and all she could think about was how much the reward might be. Enough for this month's rent. Maybe enough for her daughter's medicine. Maybe enough to stop feeling like she was drowning. Sarah tucked the wallet inside her worn jacket and hurried home through the storm. Her apartment was small, the kind of small that made you choose between a kitchen table and a place to sit. She'd chosen the table. Her daughter Emma needed somewhere to do homework, even if Sarah ate standing up most nights. The radiator clanked and hissed but produced little heat, and Sarah had long ago mastered the art of layering sweaters instead of complaining to a landlord who never answered. "Mama," Emma called from the bedroom they shared. "Did you bring dinner?" "In a minute, sweetheart." Sarah peeled off her wet jacket and pulled out the wallet. Italian leather, butter soft, probably cost more than her monthly salary at the diner. She opened it carefully, almost reverently. The driver's license stared back at her, Robert fucking Whitmore. Even the name sounded rich. Address in Kensington Heights, where she'd cleaned houses during college before the agency let her go for taking a day off when Emma had pneumonia. She counted the cash, $800, casual pocket money for a man like this. Her hands shook. $800 was 3 weeks of double shifts. It was Emma's inhaler refills for 6 months. It was the difference between surviving and living. But then she saw the credit cards. Black American Express. Platinum Visa. Cards that probably had limits higher than she'd earn in a lifetime. She could call the number on the back, arrange a return, maybe get a reward. Men like Robert Whitmore gave rewards, didn't they? $100 for their wallet back. $200. She was about to close it when a photograph slipped out from behind the license. Sarah caught it before it hit the floor, and her breath caught with it. The photo was old, creased with age and handling, the kind of photograph you touch so often the edges go soft. It showed a little girl, maybe 6 or 7, with wild brown curls and a gap-toothed smile. She was sitting on a tire swing, frozen mid-laugh, her whole face lit up with the kind of joy that exists only in childhood, before the world teaches you to be careful with your happiness. On the back, in faded blue ink, Lily, age 7. Last good day. Asterisk. Sarah's chest tightened. She knew that handwriting, the careful loops of someone writing something they needed to remember. She knew that phrase too. Last good day. She'd said it herself, about the day before Emma's diagnosis, before the hospital visits and the bills and the endless, grinding worry. She flipped the photo over again, studying the little girl's face, and something shifted inside her. This wasn't just a wallet. This was someone's grief, carried close, kept safe. This was a father's heart, tucked into leather and carried in his pocket. The reward money suddenly felt like blood money. Emma appeared in the doorway, thin and pale in her too small pajamas. "Mama, are you crying?" "No, baby. Just thinking." Sarah wiped her eyes quickly. "Come here. Let's figure out dinner." She made spaghetti with the last jar of sauce, watering it down to make it stretch. Emma chattered about school, about her friend Madison, about the book she was reading, and Sarah listened with half her attention while the other half circled back to the wallet on the counter, to the photograph, to the decision weighing on her like stones. After Emma fell asleep, Sarah sat at the table and Googled Robert Whitmore. The search results painted a picture: CEO of Whitmore Industries, real estate mogul, philanthropist. Photos of him at charity galas, ribbon cuttings, business conferences. In every picture, he wore the same expression: polished, professional, empty. She scrolled through page after page until she found it, a news article from 12 years ago. Whitmore daughter dies in car accident. Lily Whitmore, 7, killed when vehicle struck by drunk driver. Asterisk. Sarah's hand went to her mouth. She read the whole article, then read it again. The tire swing photo had been taken the day before the accident. The last good day. She imagined him, this wealthy, powerful man, carrying his daughter's smile in his wallet for 12 years, touching it like a talisman, like proof that joy had once existed. She imagined losing Emma and felt her heart crack open. At midnight, Sarah made her decision. She couldn't keep the money. Couldn't even ask for a reward. Some things weren't about money. Some things were about recognizing pain in another human being and deciding not to add to it. She found his office address online and wrote a note on the back of an envelope. Found this outside Mel's Coffee on 4th Street. Thought you'd want it back. No reward necessary. Some things are priceless. Asterisk. The next morning, she took 2 buses to reach Whitmore Tower, a glass and steel monument to success that made her feel impossibly small. The security guard looked at her, really looked, the way people look at poverty, with a mix of suspicion and pity, but she explained, and he made a call, and eventually, the wallet disappeared into the elevator with a promise it would reach Mr. Whitmore. Sarah left quickly, before anyone could ask questions or offer money she might be too weak to refuse. She thought that was the end of it. She went back to her life, double shifts, Emma's homework, the endless balancing act of bills and hope. 3 weeks passed. Then a letter arrived. Inside was a check for $50,000. Sarah stared at it until the numbers blurred. Below it, a handwritten note. You gave me back something I thought I'd lost. Not the wallet, but faith that kindness still exists without expectation. This isn't payment. It's gratitude. I've also set up a trust for Emma's education and medical expenses. Please don't refuse it. You reminded me why I should use what I have to help others. You taught me something I forgot after Lily died, that the smallest acts of humanity can save someone. You saved me. Asterisk. Sarah broke down crying at her kitchen table while Emma hugged her, not understanding but knowing somehow that these were good tears, important tears. The money changed their lives, new apartment, Emma's treatments, security they'd never known. But what stayed with Sarah, what she thought about on hard days, wasn't the check. It was the photograph of a little girl on a swing, and the reminder that everyone carries grief, that wealth can't cure heartbreak, and that sometimes the most valuable thing you can give another person is the recognition of their pain and the choice to be kind anyway. She kept Robert's note in her own wallet, a reminder that humanity, real humanity, costs nothing but means everything.